Far beyond the Wise Owl Forest, here lies a village of both tranquility and ferocity. Here lies a village of great warriors, famous for their hunting skills. Here lies the great Matataki Village, home to the greatest hunter in the Wise Owl Forest. This is his story. One summer evening, the great hunter Fudoh was embarking on his most challenging hunt ever. He was known as one of the greatest hunters of Matataki Village, but this day would cement his legend for years to come, as he entered the Wise Owl Forest to face the dreaded killer snake. After hours of walking, Fudoh nears his intended destination. The killer snake is said to be a fierce beast. I hope the stories are true. Fudoh then flashes back to a conversation he had with the village mayor, the ancient Baron Kabu. Why would you volunteer to face this beast? Are you that determined to leave your son without a father? His mother died no longer than 2 months ago. Are you insane? And what would I be teaching him if I didn't step up when no one else would? The dreaded serpent will advance to Matataki eventually. And besides, we cannot allow this beast to disturb the ecosystem of Pokemon within the forest any longer. Either way, the presence of this serpent has left us at the mercy of our new medicine man's remedies. Remedies born out of Pokemon blood. Who's to say that people won't turn against you? With or without the killer snake depriving us of our natural remedy sources, some actually prefer what the Pokemon offer more than what the animals we normally hunt did. Then their hatred is what I shall bear. I refuse to let the dream of my love die with her. Very well. But I won't let you go unprepared. As you know, I am descended from Matataki's founder, and am so inclined to certain secrets, one of which being the location to a special sword that once belonged to the first hunter of Matataki Village. It's said that the first hunter faced the killer snake's ancestor, almost as if fate was in play. As a precaution of the serpent's return, he left the very blade he forged from the fang of the serpent after their first bout, to kill any more of its kin that would dare to return. From there, it's up to you. So the legend was true. The serpent sword sleeps within the grove. With resolve, Fudoh picks up the blade, ready to face the greatest hunt he's ever partaken in. Moments later, Fudoh appears in what is rumored to be the den of the killer snake. Fudoh looks around, nothing but sound silence and calming wind. At first hand, it sounds so peaceful. But I can feel its presence, its murderous intent, and its thriving hunger for blood, both for human, animal, and Pokemon. Yet why? Why can I not find it? Huh? Fudoh turns around, surprised to see something unexpected. A Pokemon. A grass type, it seems. I've never seen one such as this before. It's not native to the forest. The little Pokemon, M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E, then runs up and rubs itself on Fudoh's leg, seemingly unafraid of him.
Stop! I oppose this decree. If we fall down this path, we could risk destroying the balance of the forest. We've no right to hunt the Pokemon.
I'm sorry, Lily Rara, but
the people have already decided. My Nidoran elixir worked like a miracle and cured our hunters of the Nido King's poison sting. If anything, were it not for the snake, the Nido King wouldn't have fallen. So now, we're free to hunt to our heart's content.
And what of the serpent?
So long as we steer clear of its den, we should be safe to hunt.
And yet, it would not stay in its den after a year's time. And so Pokemon blood would stain my hands. All for the sake of a village desperate to live. What luck you have. Your youth grants you such ignorance to reality. Enough to know only happiness. Just like him. How unkind reality can be at times. My beloved would have adored you, just as I know my son would. Oh, how it pains me. A hunter of Matataki Village am I, with the blood of so many Pokemon on my hands. But if I succeed, your bloodshed can finally end. In an instant, Fudoh immediately dodges as the killer snake swiftly attempted to strike from behind, only to fail in the end. After landing to the ground, the M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E in hand, Fudoh looks on in awe and fear at the killer snake, realizing that he may as well be staring death in the face. Are you hurt, little one? No, little one. You must flee. So, this is the killer snake. It's bigger than I imagined. Fudoh then clenches his teeth and grasps the hilt of the serpent's sword firmly. Even so, I must not falter. I will not! M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E then jumps out of Fudoh's arms, ready to fight by his side. You would fight alongside me, little one. As Fudoh and M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E charge forward, serpent sword in hand, they clash with the beast multiple times, Fudoh using his sword to parry the serpent's fangs, while M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E utilizes his leafage attack for distance. Fudoh then notices that every time he tries to strike with his sword, he keeps colliding with the fangs of the killer snake. After the recent clash, Fudoh steps back, taking into account what he's noticing. The serpent's strikes aren't just random. He's deliberately striking at my sword with its fang. Its blood must recognize its own kin, even if it is molded in a different form. In turn, it must have changed its original battle strategy. No wonder the first hunter struggled and died. It's an intelligent beast. As the smoke of M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E leafage attack spreads, Fudoh then looks down and notices the serpent's tail wrapping around his leg, followed by the snake throwing him across the grove. Fudoh would be thrown into a nearby tree, damaging his body in the process. No! Fudoh then watches as the serpent slithers toward M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E, much to Fudoh's distress. The serpent... it must have been hunting the Pokemon. Fudoh then gets up, fighting through the pain of the bruises on his back. Fudoh then spits to his side. Serpent! The killer snake turns in response, steering his attention away from a downed M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E. Do you think that's enough to end my life? I am the hunter Fudoh! Fudoh then charges forward, clashing again with the killer snake's fang, only to then be sucker punched from the side by the snake's tail. With a single clash, the serpent makes a calculated move with its tail. Even when Fudoh attempts to strike at its tail, he leaves himself open for the killer snake's venomous fangs. With luck, Fudoh is able to dodge the bite, but his body is beginning to weaken from the damage done to it. Just then, Fudoh falls to his knee, a result of mysteriously coughing up blood, as the killer snake towers above him. Fudoh then looks up at the serpent, his mind running along in thought. This beast is strong. I may even die in this fight. I'd be leaving my son alone. Still,
I just know I'm gonna be a hunter like you one day, Father. The best in the village, just like you.
Not like I wasn't dying anyway.
You're serious?
Yes.
If that's the case, why descend your time in this world?
So my death can be an honorable one. Fudoh charges at the serpent. He pulls together all of his physical strength for one final swing of his sword. For Matataki! For Goro! As Fudoh charges forth, the killer snake goes for a swift strike, something that Fudoh could not avoid in time. That is, if not for the sudden interference of M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E with its tackle attack at the snake's torso. Thanks to M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E, Fudoh has his chance for one final clash. The force behind Fudoh's serpent sword inevitably severs the left fang of the killer snake from its maw. As the killer snake hisses in agony, Fudoh falls, his back hitting the ground and the serpent sword separating from his grasp. Just then, the snake's severed fang lands next to Fudoh's head, stabbing into the ground, and only inches away from Fudoh's face. Fudoh looks to his left, astonished by his achievement, and to his right to notice M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E falling to the ground unconscious after using up the last of his physical strength. I've actually done what only the first hunter accomplished, but not without help. I came here for an honorable death, an honorable battle. I suppose 1 out of 2 isn't bad, for we outnumbered the serpent, and still. The killer snake hisses, its attention leaning toward Fudoh as M.U.G.E.N.V.E.R.S.E's small size makes him not worth the killer snake's time. The snake looks down at Fudoh with seething rage. Fudoh looks up slightly, worried but content. It appears I failed to slay the beast. In the reflection of Fudoh's eye, the killer snake opens its maw, getting ready for its killing strike. In that instant, Fudoh thought nothing more than about his son Goro, as well as his mother holding him in her arms. Fudoh closes his eyes, a tear falling out. Forgive me, my son. With everything it has, the killer snake charges downward for the killing blow. Lily Rara, I'll be with you soon. As Fudoh opens his eyes, he witnesses a shocking sight. Fudoh would witness the decapitation of the killer snake. With a gigantic thud, the severed pieces of the killer snake fall to the ground, Fudoh lying in between the two pieces. As Fudoh looks up, he sees the silhouette of a giant man in a hat, wielding a giant polearm. In the end, Fudoh would fall unconscious. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Our merch store and Amazon affiliate links are currently unavailable at the moment. However, in the meantime, you can go to our Buy Me a Coffee page and donate $5 in support of the channel. That way, you can help us toward our goal of bringing you guys higher quality content. You can also check out our original content, which will be linked in the description down below. But with all that said and done, I'm JT Anime, and I'll check you guys later.